Hey friends, welcome back to Scale with Clarity. I'm Brooke, and today's episode is one I just had such a blast recording and learning from these two powerhouse women. I'm joined by Beth and Victoria, the co-founders of Female Mavericks and authors of the upcoming book, Entrepreneur Like a Mother. Between them, get this, they've raised 9 kids while building and exiting multi-7-figure businesses. And they're incredibly honest about what it actually takes. I learned so much from them and so enjoyed our conversation. We talk about the myth of balance, personal non-negotiables, the kitchen cabinet that every founder needs, and their simple anchor that you need to do one hard thing a day. So if you're feeling the pull to build something of your own, or perhaps you're already starting and wondering how do you grow while still prioritizing your family, this conversation is for you. I can't wait for you to listen. Let's dive in. Beth and Victoria, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for being on here.
Oh my gosh, we are so happy to be together and also on with you.
I know this is going to be a first time for me too, because it's 3 of us on here. So I was excited when we met before, Beth, and you were telling me about all the stuff which we'll get into that you guys have coming out. And you mentioned Victoria too. I'm like, we all 3 have to get on here because you have such an important message, and I would need to meet Victoria too, obviously. So also thank you for getting up early. We were talking before we started recording. Between the two of you, you have 9 children. So showering, getting the kids out the door for you, Victoria, I know. So like all of that stuff to bring this together. So thank you for prioritizing.
Yeah, the
those two.
showering's the big hurdle for me.
I said same. Like I have to be, even being on screen sometimes doesn't require that for me. So I just want to run through, I have like bullets here, and to intro both of you. So co-founders of Female Mavericks, and stop me if any of these are incorrect, built and exited multi-7-figure companies. Between the two of you, I just alluded to this, you have 9 kids that you raised while building these companies and exiting. I'm going to have a background like applause meter like playing in the background. Right? You have a community now where you help women launch and scale sustainable businesses, and you have a book coming out this year. It's called Entrepreneur Like a Mother, correct?
Correct. Yep.
I mean, I want to take a deep breath, and kudos to both of you. I'm so excited. There's so many places to go, but just on the accomplishments and just doing it while momming and then sending that message out to everyone. Let's start there. That's awesome. I want to know, and maybe we can start here, is you built these companies, you've exited them. You could have probably done a lot or taken a deep breath. Why this book and why now? What did you learn through the process that you're like, this is the message that needs to go out now?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I was very lucky. So Beth has done 2 businesses. I've done 1 business, but I met Beth at her first business, which was Ashton Partners. And so she started as my boss and then became kind of my partner, then my best friend, then my work wife. So I had this really amazing opportunity to have a woman mentor who was raising children. So like we were just talking about it yesterday, her twins are about to turn 21 on Friday. So that means it's our 21st anniversary.
Happy birthday to them.
Yeah. But it's our 21st anniversary. I met her when I would see her belly before I would see her face as she walked by the door.
So bad.
So like it's kind of an amazing thing. But when I go back to like corporate America, and you can cut me off whenever.
No.
I love this relationship that we've had when I went to corporate America, I had my first baby, Allie. And no offense to the guys we work with, but they were like, you need to realign your priorities. You're going to be a mother. You're going to do this. Like, stop trying to get on the best clients. Stop trying to do this. Stop trying to do that. Stop trying to be ambitious, basically. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I could do both. So I had this amazing boss at the time that was like, you're going to have to work harder, but you can absolutely do it. And like, I still remember this one piece that she was like, she said to me, you're not going to falter on work. You're not going to falter at home. You'd probably give a little bit up on the social side, but it's totally worth it. And you can find other moments for that. So like, fast forward to when we were about to exit that corporate America, and she and I were like, let's go do it again, like Ashton. And so I didn't even look back. I literally had no idea what I was getting into, but like, it was the most amazing experience that I've ever had. And to be able to do that with such a strong woman, mentor, best friend, partner was pretty amazing. So like, my long-winded answer to say the reason is why now for this book is not every female entrepreneur has that luxury of having a great mentor, best friend to go do it with. So the idea of Entrepreneur Like a Mother was to create this book and create this framework for this is all the mistakes we made. So this is how you can do it better. So take this in a way that you could also be prioritize being a mother and being a female founder.
Love that so much. So much. And Beth, Victoria, you had Beth to look to. And I always say, and this is why I love this podcast and I love telling stories, because I think you don't know what you don't know until you see others doing it. Like you see what's possible. You see, like that's the importance of mentors and just hearing stories and just people doing it differently. And for me, even just leaving corporate, there's so many women that are burned out and overworked and not prioritized. And they
Totally.
just think the only option is to leave and maybe stay at home or
Yes.
take the other W-2 job. And so for me, just hearing stories of like, no, there's so many options out there. I love that. But Beth, for you, did you have a mentor that showed you, or did you just always have this innate belief like I can make this work and just this passion and drive for entrepreneurship? What kind of drove you towards that?
Because I'm a full 10 years older than V, I never had a female mentor my entire career. Now, I did have a couple men that really helped me forward for sure. But I think it was because I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. I have a super crotchety, old world Italian dad. Like, Victoria knows the stories, they're
True.
amazing.
Absolutely.
And yet, he treated me exactly the way he treated my other brothers. My dad was an entrepreneur. He assumed we all would be, and he never treated me any different. And so I just think I didn't think about it. I was such a terrible employee, Brooke, that I would have had no career path
Yeah.
unless I could
You
go
had,
out on my own.
were you in corporate for a while? Did you try that and decided it's not for me?
I did. I was in corporate almost 4 years, and actually the real story that happened is that I got kind of a big job for how young I was at a small company, and then the owners of the company sold it out from underneath me and I didn't know. I was the head of the company, but it was small and they owned
Yeah.
100% of it, and they sold it, and I ended up working for a really large company, and within about, like, an hour and a half I thought, "I can
Yeah.
do this better. I'll go try it," you know? I mean, that's I mean, to
Very
be that young
self-aware of
again.
you. Self-aware.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Is it ignorance is bliss or just real complete trust in yourself? A little bit of both,
I mean, I don't know
probably.
what's trust in myself. I just thought I will not have a job if I stay here because I am so mouthy. I do not think what they're doing is right. And, like, most important, like, I know my clients. Like, I felt like I knew
Right.
what they wanted, and I knew how they wanted to be treated and charged, etcetera. So, a healthy dose of cluelessness is an
I
okay thing too.
I love that. Well, then take me into as you're both building these businesses, and we've mentioned it, multiple children being birthed and raised throughout it. What this is, I hear both sides of this when we talk about balance. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Some people are like, there's not. You've got to just use a season of life. You prioritize what you need to. Others are like, yeah, you've got to find it in the moment. Like, how did you find it, or what's your belief around that as you're building a business, but also trying to be a mom at the same time?
I think Victoria's got a different answer than mine because she's younger, but I would say what we both did is we set out a couple personal non-negotiables, and, like, we just didn't cross that line.
Did
Those
you
were
know
by
that
no
ahead of time? Like, we need to set these, like, this is what to
Yeah, I
make
think
this.
we knew what kind
Yeah.
of moms we wanted to be, or I guess I knew what kind of mom I wanted to be. I never thought I was gonna be balanced. Like, that word doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think it exists for mom entrepreneurs, moms, corporate at all. But I do think we formally and informally had personal non-negotiables. When one of us was about to miss something, more often than not, the other would be like, "No, no, 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 go to Allie's thing. Okay, I got this. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
So I think we had that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to preach balance is possible when you're building a business and raising a family. I don't think in the purest sense it really is. Like, we started Claremont year one. We left and started January 15th. I found out I was pregnant February 8th. And I found out in March it was twins. Like in year
Both of you have
one.
twins. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I mean, I just one-upped her with the fifth kid. Like, we
Yeah,
basically
she's
have
got
the
one
same
more than
family.
me, and
You're like, I've got to have 5. That's the only
she
reason.
beat me, as always.
I mean, but like, in those early days, like, I mean, I vividly remember uh, breastfeeding my twins while I was on my laptop trying to get a press release out, weeks after I had the baby. Now, all that is to be said is I wanted to do that because I wanted to go all in on building this business and I wanted to go all in on having a family. So like what Beth is saying was absolutely true. Like my non-negotiables was I was on the 4:45 train every day, no matter what. Like I wanted to be home for dinner. I was going to take a maternity leave regardless of whether or not it was difficult on the business. And like I was lucky to have Beth who would support me when I
Yeah.
took those maternity leaves. But
Yeah.
like, and they weren't maternity leaves in the sense of I disconnected for 3 months, but I disconnected for like a week and then I would like work from home for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
This was long before COVID where working from home was normal, but um I mean being able to set the boundaries of what you want to do while you're also pursuing your dream of being an entrepreneur is probably table stakes. That's just what you have to do. And I do think it's possible. Now, what I will say is I have a ton of friends that in the heart of it, they would be like, you're just like, you're super mom. I can't believe you're like actually like, big boss lady and also a mom. I literally always hated it when someone would call me super mom because I thought like that's just a fallacy.
Yeah.
Like I always said I was doing everything at kind of 75%. Like now my 75% may be more than other people, but
Yeah.
like it was like sometimes I was failing at home and sometimes I was failing at the business. Sometimes I was kicking ass at work and sometimes I was kicking ass at home.
Yeah.
Like it just
Yeah.
like giving yourself the grace to understand that like perfection is not true and is never achievable. I think that like takes the pressure off a little bit to say,
Yeah.
okay, I can figure out what works for me as a mom entrepreneur.
I love that. And I think, I mean, you guys said too, when Beth and Victoria, you were working for her too, you sold your first business, you went right into the second. And what I'm hearing underlying all this, things can be difficult and hard, but I'm sensing there was this real drive and this why of like, whether it was aligned with the mission or the business or just I love business in general and building or working for myself. There was something underlying that was like, I am really aligned with what drives me and a knowledge that, and family's important. So I'm going to make it work. And you kind of get in it and you're like, these are the goals that I've set out and driving towards that. Is that correct too?
Yeah, and I think the secret sauce to that was that we had both each other and then
Yeah.
this kinda kitchen cabinet around us that would help us. Either if we were, like, getting a little far off the reservation, we would
Yeah.
get reminded, or if we were just like, "Oh my god, we can't have another day like Tuesday." Like, we were in meetings for 14 straight hours, we put our kids to bed, we started working at 9, like, we would talk about it, and either we would troubleshoot or our kitchen cabinet would come in with, like, "Okay, we're coming with wine, move
Yeah.
over,"
Yeah.
we had that, and I do think when we're busy as women, we get super isolated. And I know I am like Victoria knows this about me better than anyone. When I am super busy, I get 100% isolated. And I think that's a danger because you need some other voices reminding you.
I think something really interesting too. We talk about this great relationship between Beth and I. It was not always sunshine and rainbows.
And
Like
I was like,
there
there's a
were
book in there, by
like,
the way. There's a whole
like
book
Oh
on you
God.
guys and your
Like the
partnership and how
last
you made it
month
work.
we've gone at it. Like we have a
totally
marriage.
we are for sure like in the truest sense work wives. Like absolutely. We may be best friends, but we
Yeah.
also fight like best friends too,
Yeah.
like and sisters. So, there was a lot of times at Claremont and now at Female Mavericks, to be fair, because I think we're both in different chapters of our lives again. But, where we were like this, where had different opinions of strategy, different opinions of hiring, different opinions of operations, whatever it was, that kitchen cabinet that Beth brought off, like we're part of each other's, but like we also have a very distinct set. Now, it is weirdly similar. Like she has her
Yeah.
besties, her flambos. I have my besties. But then we also have for me, it's my brothers. Like
Yeah.
they were the ones that I went to for advice when I needed to have a clear head. Or some of these like badass women that live in my neighborhood who like we're
Yeah.
in corporate America, but like they're like leading the charge and they each had their respective expertise that really I could layer into when I had like a tough moment. with Beth or without Beth, like just to get a different, so I wasn't in that echo chamber.
Yeah, I think I love that you've pointed that out because a lot of entrepreneurs I know are solo. So you guys have made it work and like incredibly uh, successful in it, but not everyone has that. And so I found one of the key things, and you, I think, are helping women now too, is that community of building those that either know what you're going through or have done it before, but that you can kind of bounce those ideas off of because it can be really isolating if you don't have somebody like that.
Yeah, I mean, we have a whole chapter in the book on this. We have lots of content on our website, which I know is in your
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
But our feeling is kitchen cabinet are 3 people. They're cheerleaders, right? Those besties that you call and
Yep.
I go, "I'm gonna kill Victoria. I'm gonna run over her with my car." And my dear friend Leslie says, "You guys have a super special relationship. Like, you're really lucky." Okay, all right, fine. I won't kill her today. But
Lucky or we work
cheerleader
to, yeah, we're working at it.
cheerleaders and then compensators, those people that know
Mm,
stuff that you don't know. And
yeah.
early in our careers, we needed a lot of them. And I think now later in our careers, we're able to be compensators. And these are like so powerful, are connectors. People that you call and go, "I have to figure out how I'm gonna get into, like, guy CEO X."
Yeah.
And that connector is like, "Okay, I don't know him, but I know this person who knows this person who knows
Yeah.
him, so let's go at it, and I'll help you with that." I mean, if you have we as women, we go heavy cheerleader, and that's an
Yeah.
important role, but we ignore compensators and connectors, and we need
That's
all 3.
I love that. I think it was just you just wrote a LinkedIn post about it. It was like a couple days ago, or I don't know when it
They
came, but I
did.
saw that and I was
There's
like,
an infographic coming out this week.
yeah,
Yeah. I
I
mean, we
love that.
feel
Okay,
it so
everyone go
so
to Beth's.
passionately.
Yeah. I love that. No, I read that and I was like, you're absolutely right. And I think the way you phrased it too, I won't get it right, but it's like the people that aren't just like, okay, yeah, I'll forward it on, but they will go to bat because they trust you and they're like, I've
Yes.
worked with her. I know what her work product is. So, but that is not, you don't take that for granted. You have to think strategically about building those connectors too, because you're putting in the work just as much as you're expecting to receive it. Right.
Yeah. And you have to cultivate it too, right? So
Yeah.
I think we've both been amazed by how other women are so willing to help us. And we both try and play that role to the extent we can. But you can't get to know someone over lunch and then never call them for 4 years and then ask them for a big favor. So like we still now today spend a bunch of time cultivating our network. And we
Yeah.
accept being cultivated as well now at
Yeah.
this age in our
Totally.
career.
I,
It's super ironic. I was just thinking about my list of who I hadn't reached out to in a while. And on that list, that one of the CEOs just called me right before this. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it was just the perfect," like I knew the time had gone too far and it was just like, "Oh, okay, that
you,
works." You
I
got
just
to
had to
have that,
think it.
those regular touch points with the people that are going to help you so you can help them.
I love that, and I think a lot of women I talk to that again are super successful in their corporate jobs want to start their own thing, go out on their own. Uh, Too often, I think they minimize the network that they have naturally built by working with so many people in the vast how broad it has gotten over the last 20 plus years of their career. But thinking of it the way you guys do too is like you have so many people that are in so many different places. You do need to cultivate that and before you even think about leaving, I would think like that's one of the key things is just who do I need and what do I and just to understand. And I think I hate to say this, but I think guys do a really great job of that from a strategic standpoint. I think women are really great. And you said this, Beth, from community building. Like that's where but it's not necessarily in a this like in a tit for tat. I don't know the right way to say this, but
Yeah.
like in an expectation of like longer term, what can this do for me too? And it sometimes feels selfish, but it's also you're helping them in the way. So I think it's a different mindset for a lot of women as well.
And it's also something that we have to hand it to men. They have done it formally or informally brilliantly. And while we've scurried around trying to do the best work we possibly can and then get home and be the best moms we possibly can, we've shirked that. So, I mean, even now, I probably spend 15 minutes a day. The funny part is right now I'm doing it on behalf of my kids so I can help them get internships. But like, you once you get into the discipline of it, one, like other women, they want to help you, right? We just innately want to help. And two, like the older we get, the more our network, we can mine it, but we must mine it.
Yeah, I love that.
But sometimes it's not so strategic, honestly. Like, I think about my neighborhood and I think about it all the time because there are a ton of stay at home moms, there are a ton of working moms, and we talk to each other because of our kids. So, like, over the last, 15 years, like I've sat around play dates, I've sat at soccer games, I sat at volleyball games or field days and just have conversations like, and as a result, I have organically have this like really kick-ass entrepreneur who's building this coaching business. She's a friend of mine. Like I have a lawyer at a very large public company that I have leaned on in the past when I needed legal
Yeah.
advice about what we were doing with Claremont. I have my stay-at-home mom friends who were big accounting, like finance people at firms and on their own that now have chosen to stay home. But each one of those women have such a vast network and
Yeah.
they're all ready to jump on it. And it wasn't like I have to spend, you know, 30 minutes every week to go have coffee. Like you're talking to them all the time.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it's an easy way and honestly a fun way. And if you can get away for a wine night,
Yeah.
sweet. Like,
Yeah.
that's, like, time for you, time for them, like, time
Yeah.
away from your kids, like, time away from work. Like, it's just you don't have to overthink the process, but you do have to overthink those 3 categories that Beth talked about because I
Yeah.
think you need each one of those, the champion, the cheerleader, the connector,
Yeah.
when you're trying to build a business.
I love that. Talk me through now. So, I know this is in your book, and I can't wait for it to come out. I have heard from so many women who are executives in their company. We're seeing layoffs happen, and we're seeing, the terror. Like, there's so many macroeconomic things happening, um, and they are either left without a job or had stuff pile on. They're just not happy anymore. They have such an incredible skill set. I'm like, you can go out on your own. You can be so successful in working for multiple different companies and build your business. I guess there's a couple places I want to go with this. But first is, what's one of the mindset gaps that you see people when they are thinking of going from working for someone else and then thinking about building a business and leveraging that skill set? What are some of the main things that you've seen women you work with that's stopping them from trying to do that?
Look, I think I'm gonna go with my 2 favorite, and Victoria will have her own favorites, but, like, my first one is they doubt themselves that they can do it, and they forget all these amazing things that they've done in the corporate environment, which are absolutely replaceable and transferable into the entrepreneurial environment. So, I mean, I think one is just general, like, "I can't do it," or "I can't do it as a mom," and I mean, that is why we wrote the book. We
Yeah.
want you to read this and go, "If those 2 could do it as moms, couldn't we?" Right? So that's number 1. But I think the other thing is what I personally have seen women that I mentor do is they have the best business idea and they have the best execution plan. But they decide, okay, I need 3 more months of experience. I need 6
Yeah.
more months of saving
Yeah.
money, whatever it is, and they put it off. And I see
Yeah.
such a different because this is super funny, but like we have a lot of men who follow us. Like I don't know why, but we do. So, and when you talk to those guys, the conversations are much more, how'd you get your MRR from this to this? How'd
Yeah,
you add a new thing? Women, we always are like, well, maybe if I just had another, X, then
yep.
I could be better. And I think it's maybe that's all mixed up in imposter syndrome, maybe, but I think that's part of it. But a second part of it is just we want to be in control. And like,
Yeah.
especially that launch part of being an entrepreneur, you are careening out of control and you have to figure out a way to mentally get your arms around it
Yeah.
because you will not fix it for a while.
I love that. And Victoria, I want to give you a chance too if you have something to add. But I think that goes into the mindset of, and this was so bred in me because I was in consulting too. When you work for a big company, a lot of times you are paid to think of all the problems and solve them before they become an issue.
Yeah.
Like that's natural. That is what you are supposed to do. But when you become an entrepreneur, to your point, and this is what I say all the time, it is fast, small tests to test the market, to test the pricing, to see what's working and iterating from there. And so it's a completely different mindset to say it's not failure. You are getting information rapidly to see what's working as opposed to doing the long, planning and the politicking that you need to do in a different. So it really is an awareness of that and then really working to change that thinking and that mindset. So exactly what you were saying, Beth, that absolutely resonates.
Yeah, I mean, I always say, like, if I knew what I was gonna go through as an entrepreneur, I probably wouldn't have done it. Like, if I knew the risk I was taking, but, like, you know, the flip side of Beth is I just and I it is a fault, but whatever it is, I just always think we're gonna be successful. Like, I just always think it's gonna happen. Like, We're going to figure it out. If we have a problem, we're going to dodge and weave, and we're going to figure out what makes sense for us, whatever. So, but I think most women that are thinking about taking the plunge, and you got to love that my kid's iPad, the alarm's going off. So in about 2 seconds, I'm going to have to run and go turn it off. But most kids or most women, they just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
Like, so like, and I actually, I do struggle with this a lot. With overwhelm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
trying to boil it down to, okay, what are my financial non-negotiables? What is my freedom number? Meaning, what do I need to be able to cover to be able to take that steady paycheck off the table? And what does the revenue expense model look like for a business for the first year? Because I think if you can get your head around the financials of it and the security on that side, that's step one. Then step two is you're not going to have a 7-figure business tomorrow, but you would like to have one within 18 months.
Yeah.
So what are the 3 things I need to do in the first quarter to make it down that path? Like it is digestible chunks all the time.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Victoria's to-do list it's amazing, right? Like, we should put it in the show notes because people will just be like, there you go. That's the answer to it all. But the thing that once we get it down to those 3 digestible nuggets of what we have to do in the first quarter, both of us are really good at this. We're like, okay, what do we have to do today? Like, and that's it. We have 1 or 2 hard things a day and we are done because we know if we tackle those and we tackle 1 a day for 3 months, we're going to hit the 3 goals we set. Like, and for whatever reason, we're both fine tuned to be like, okay, number 2 through 50 on my list, I'll keep it on my list, but that's not happening today.
Oh my gosh.
Because like, I'm going to make my kids hockey practice.
You have to love this. So there is this amazing female entrepreneur in my town. She has an organizing and staging business. And so I have cultivated a relationship with her because I needed help doing that when I was deep in it's still at my last company after we had sold it. And so she has now given me a proposal for our house that we just moved into about a year ago. It's still boxes everywhere. And I saw her at the basketball game on Sunday and I was like, I'm sorry, I actually really want to figure this out, but I don't know where to start. And she was like, you remember what you always say? 1 hard thing a day. And I was like,
Oh my God.
okay, my 1 hard thing for this week is to go through 1 piece of your proposal and tell you that we're going to go.
That is exactly it. You're like, and it's how easy is it to tell we can see it in others, but then in ourselves, it's like such a testament to why we all need our own skill set, someone else helping us with that.
Yeah. I feel like James McClear with Atomic Habits, like we were all over it for the last 20 years. He just beat us to the topic and the concept because you reread that and it's very helpful, but it is very much what we do innately.
Ladies, I have to go turn off that
that's
alarm.
fine.
I'll be back.
I love the background noise though.
You like it?
Yeah. Beth, what was coming up for me too, as we were talking about this is like, it's actually a recent book, but again, similarly to James Clear, it's nothing new, but it's like, think of your long-term goal. So whether, like you said, or Victoria was saying, 18 months to a 7-figure business or 5 years to exit or whatever it may be, think of the long-term goal, break it down into exactly what you're saying. What are those actionable steps? Like each week, this is what we need to accomplish, or each day. And then honestly, forget the long-term goal. Because it's like, if we stay grounded in that, we're always like, well, what if, what else? I could do one more. But I love that idea of like, the long-term goal is only so that you can figure out, what do I need to accomplish in this next month? What does that look like? What does that mean? I need to get the 3 clients or the 5 clients. And then I'm not going to worry about anything else until I get to that too, because that's where we just need to start taking action and not do like analysis paralysis. Exactly.
Yeah. And
Totally.
almost like kind of leave everything out to the wind. Like you're going to get your really hard thing done. Kind of to me, that like 3-month goal, that 18 months to 7 figures, that's directional so that you're pointed the right way. That is the only thing it is. It's directional. Everything else is tactical. And honestly, when we talk to women we're mentoring right now, you can tell those that struggle. I was just talking to someone yesterday. She's struggling because her 1 hard thing a day are 3 really hard things. And I just said, you got to pick one. I can't.
Yeah.
That you have to do. And by the way, if you're wrong, you'll figure it out quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll get information back really fast that you need to pivot. Yeah.
The other thing we did that I think really benefited us early on is, yes, we created those 18-month goals, but we created those stretch goals for
Yeah.
directional purposes, like Beth talked about. But like every 3 months, and we were slavish to it, we would sit down and say, okay, what's our big goal?
Yeah.
What do we have to do in the next 3 months to further us down the path towards that goal? And like, and we would assign what we needed to do. And then 3 months later, we would look, we'd say, okay, where did we do good? Where did we do bad? And where do we need to do better?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we would figure out if we needed to pivot, if we needed to
Yeah.
change, if we needed to update, and if we needed to sometimes like say, hell yeah, like we got it
Yeah.
done, like way to go. So
Yeah.
like, but knowing that those were very fluid
Yeah.
is super important.
Yeah, and I sort of wonder if you don't have a business partner, like we were lucky to have each other, but
Yeah.
if you don't have a business partner, I think that that's where people use coaches. But again, the people we mentor who use coaches use them for the day to day. And I actually think if you are solo, I think your coach would be, I think you'd get a lot more value out of we had our quarterly conversations. They were always off site.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was a house, sometimes it was a Starbucks, but man, we had those conversations.
Yeah, I
Totally.
agree. And I think I've seen a lot of people throw money at coaches, and listen, I'm in that world too. And I think the key is knowing yourself enough to know where's your gap. Like, I need an accountability partner. I need someone who's going to push me to do the sales that I don't want to do. Like, there's a little bit of knowing yourself and then finding that person that's going to, and it's not going to be the one maybe that's going to unlock this new framework that you've never worked with. It's going to be the one that's done it and is going to just like push you to do the uncomfortable things sometimes or call you out on that,
Yes.
I
I
think
feel
that's
like
Totally.
the key.
coaches are always pushing systems, but I think that like really good entrepreneurs, we have our system.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love what you just said. We have our system, but man, we could
It's
use Victoria and I still use each other for accountability.
yeah, yeah. So I guess this is gonna go counter to maybe, I don't know what we're talking about, but I just I know we have a couple more minutes, so I'll let you guys go. But we talked about prioritizing. And for the person that is, again, either just left their job, has such a deep functional skill set that they can leverage that we know a bunch of big corporations can use. They want to grow kind of their consulting or their advisory or their agency business. And we know a lot of us get caught in analysis paralysis. So many women I talk to spend so much time on their website and then on their, sales page and just trying to get that perfect. What if you were to say the 1 to 3, what are the most impactful things you think are when you're just starting off that like, forget all that stuff, you'll learn it, it'll come. Like, what's the biggest thing that you've seen work for those just starting out?
So I think, let's see, number one is how you want to work and what kind of a business you want to
Yeah.
create. Like, I
Knowing
mean,
yourself. Yes.
I think that's a big deal. Like when we started Claremont, it was balls to the walls. We were building a business that we were going to exit at some point.
You knew that was your end goal.
That was the
yeah.
end goal. So like to do that, you had to build a financial model. You had to build a business model that was going to support that. Now, fast forward to Female Mavericks, it's different. Like it was mission based from the start. Again, Beth and I are in two different parts of our
Yeah.
lives. Her kids are grown. I'm still in the thick of it. I wanted to be home with my kids. And to be fair, at the start, we went balls to the walls. Like it nearly broke me. It nearly broke us because
Yeah.
I didn't know how to change my mindset
You take
around,
yourself wherever
yes,
you go. Even if you make the
totally.
change, you're going to do the same. Yep. Same
So
patterns.
like, we've had a lot of come to Jesus moments between us individually to say, okay, these are our priorities. And to me right now, it's 100% helping women, but it is also equally important for me to be home and running the carpools. Like, so I have created a day-to-day schedule that allows me to have some work time, some me time, some momming time,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So I think knowing the type of business you want to create is probably number one. Number two, what does the financial model look like to support that?
Yeah.
So, and being our always non-negotiable was we need to be break even within a
Yeah.
year. Like
And
Yeah.
it's a
I
big
have to
thing.
say that like talking to so many women, they say I'm doing great, but I'm not putting any money in my pocket. And we both are like, then you're not doing great.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
The
the
business is
difference
growing,
between
but I'm not
revenue and
actually making
profits.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
so
Yes.
don't
Yes.
don't build that business model And if you find yourself in that business model, I just talked to someone yesterday. I was like, okay, time to pivot. All
Yeah.
these expenses go out the door till you can pay off some of your credit cards. But I think that the financial model is not a top line model. That is part
Yeah.
of it. It is not a top line model. It
Totally.
also has
Fractional
profit.
CFO, you are speaking my
Yeah,
language.
so you know it. And then the
Profit.
second
It's
thing
not
is
revenue, it's profit.
it's profit. And the second
Yeah.
thing is it has to be forward looking. I mean, Victoria got to the point where she could predict our breathing 2 months from now. And then, I mean, it was very hard fought, right? But we knew, okay, this is where we're going to be in April, so we can spend this.
Yeah.
It's super powerful. But if you don't have that and you're just like, look, I got a new important client without saying, okay, that's part of my forecast, which means I can now spend the investment I said, which means I can now take $6 out of the business, which was my goal this year. I mean, because sometimes you're not taking very much. But women do an okay job with the first part, maybe, and a terrible job with profits. And the number of times I've had someone say, I just don't like Excel. I'm like,
I just
then
don't
get
like
your
numbers.
pencil out. I don't know what to tell you, but like you need to get your profit number right.
And I think that's like I see that flip. It's the mindset from going from employer or worker to like, I am the CEO of this business. This business is separate from me and I need it to work separate from me. I think when we still, and that's why I'd say open a separate bank account, just make it separate from the start, not necessarily for compliance or anything, but that you think this has to work and it's not just me like, oh, I'll take it later or I'll take the income. Like,
and if you open it separate, you know this. You
Yes.
have a very clear, like, I have $92
Yes.
and I have a $4,000 bill to my coach. That's
Yes.
actually a real world example from someone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. A lot of real world. Yes.
Time to pivot.
Yeah.
And you do because you see it and it's your reality and you fix it. But only if you see it so clearly.
I love it. Those are so good because back to like Victoria, your first one too is, and both of you are living examples of this, is it might be really looking at your own ego and saying, an ambition and saying, I'm going to lean into it now or not, and realizing life is long and there can be different chapters. Like this business I'm building right now is a lifestyle business, so I can have flexibility and autonomy and be more flexible when the kids are around because they're young. That does not mean 10 years from now, I'm not going to start the business that I want to exit in 5 years and I won't have lost it. And I think that's what a lot of, myself included, worry that if I make a change now, I will lose that kind of drive and that skill set. And I think just reframing that to say, like, you are choosing, you're not waving the white flag and stepping back. Whatever it is, it's a long lifetime and you have plenty of time to kind of do both or all. It's just not at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you go.
No, you go. This is what we do. You go.
We do. And then we both go.
But
I think that women get out of the workforce at a time where they could instead get out of the workforce, start a small version of their bigger dream. And then they've never left the workforce. They're as fresh as they can be. They're a little crazy and they don't always get their hair colored at the right time. But you do that and then you're at the point where I'm at right now. But I swear I'm not doing this, where I'm like, oh, I've got all the time in the world. What shall I do with this? So,
well, we always say you can tell
true,
others, and then you need others to be able to tell you that too.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy it.
I think there's no shame in saying, I could be big, but I'm going to stay small for a while. And then if I choose, I'm going to go big again.
I think there's so much truth too in, even I don't want to say, because that can be impactful in of itself, but like the starting small and building something really powerful can be way more impactful than staying where you are in misalignment or not ever going after leaning into your real strengths and skill sets and owning that. Like, I always think, like, sometimes we work at these big corporations that we think are, we're building this brand in there. But if you're misaligned or if you're not really leaning into what even if you take a step, and to your point, Beth, is like you spend a couple years like building figuring out what that business model looks like for you, like the impact you can have, especially with online right now and everyone's there, is like so much bigger. And I just am so excited for women to like kind of lean into that aspect of their lives and like what's possible in this too, when you're your most happiest, most fulfilled, most aligned state of your business.
Totally. I do think it's really important. This is the last one in terms of prioritization when you're going to start a business, giving up perfection. I think it's just, it's so critical because like I joke, like I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but like I did. And I just realized like, we'll figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to have a fully baked plan to go do it. Like the point is you gotta take the leap. If you're waiting for the business model to be perfect, the environment to be perfect, everything in your life to be perfect, you're never going. So like, if you can give up perfection, then you got a shot. You got a shot at being an entrepreneur, to be fair.
It's like
If you're always striving for perfection, you will fail.
I love that. And go ahead, Beth. Go.
And can I say to everyone
Yeah.
listening to this, if you are such a perfectionist, you're like, I could never do that. Let me just tell you that if my partner, work wife, and best friend can do it, I, trust me when I say all of you are capable of it.
I love
All of you, no question.
I was waiting to see what she was going to say when I said it. Like, just to be clear.
You delivered that so calmly. I thought.
I know, it was awesome, right?
I want to compare it to like for all the parents listening too. It's like if you're waiting for the perfect time to have a child. Like, you're like,
Totally.
yes, let's have some more savings,
Totally.
or, oh, my job's not stable. Like, it's like, it is never, and you are never going to know how to be a parent until you just do it. And I like building a business.
we
is the same
literally
thing.
have that quote in the
Do
book.
you?
In the book.
It is literally like, that is it. Like,
I need it. Send me the book. Okay, so to wrap up, and then I want you to tell everyone where they can find you and about your book. But I'm just curious now, through all this journey and where you both, and I think it might be a different answer for both of you, but like, what is success for you right now in this time of life and what you're building now? What does it look like? Is it still financial? Is it exit? Is it just flexibility?
I can speak for myself, which is I started mission-based. And I think I'm going to end mission-based, which is I have 3 daughters, and they're older than Victoria's daughters. And they are lucky enough, as is my son, to be fair, to believe they can probably do it, that this is a real choice for them. And I just want everybody, whatever their economic situation is, whatever their career situation is, I want women to say, that is an option that I am going to investigate and I could do it. And not just like, I'm going to have a side business in my house, but like, I'm going to sell it so my family has full financial freedom. I get a vacation house. I can give to charities I really care about. And I wake up in the morning and I don't have to think about money. That is the most powerful freedom you can have. And I mean, the idea that we could have 10,000 women in that situation.
Oh my
makes me
God.
happy.
I love that.
I mean, it's funny, despite the fact that we're in 2 different chapters of our lives, like it's the same outcome. Like that is success. Like when we started Claremont, I wanted to create a business that I could create a nut for my family, which I did, which now gives me the flexibility to go pay it forward. I had the benefit of Beth very young in my career. I would like to be able to help other women do the same so they can be moms and entrepreneurs and they can do what they want. And like, I have 4 of my 5 kids are girls. I want them to see that you can do anything you want.
We need more of both of you out there spreading your word and your lessons learned, because I could not agree more. So thank you both for sharing your story. Thank you both for having lived what you have so that you can share this. And now with this book out coming, I think the impact is just a given of how much broader it's going to be. So I'm so excited for what's coming. Can you just tell everyone listening, how can they find you, what's upcoming, all the stuff, and we'll be sure to put in the show notes.
Yeah, we have fun stuff. So first of all, everything's housed on our website, FemaleMavericks.com. And there you can subscribe to Founders File, which is our newsletter. It is free. It will always be free. And if that's all you got, which is 15 minutes a week to read it, it's a great manual. So worthy. Second, on that website, you will see a wait list to get on our pre-order site. And you'll also see an option for advanced reader copy, which we already put you on, Brooke, because we know that you'll be an advanced reader. So if you like,
I'm already quoting it, clearly.
I love it. Right. So if you're interested in being an advanced reader, you'll have a form to fill out there as well. And on Instagram, we're at Female Mavericks, and that's more like entertaining content, I think. And Victoria's kids are super cute, so you want to get a piece of that.
Obviously. Just see the
Oh my
real
gosh,
world
I just
behind.
made videos because I showered today. I just made videos for it. So
Are you like, I have to really leverage
the
this
pink
shower?
shirt.
so you will see this pink sweater a lot on Instagram, just to be clear.
That is amazing.
gonna
And
have
then,
a
of
lot
course, we're
today.
also on LinkedIn. For those of you more serious on that, we put our newsletter on LinkedIn but we put additional content, including podcasts we're on LinkedIn. So any of those, right now, everything's free. And we really desperately hope that you pre-order the book when it's available.
Yes, yes, everyone go. Obviously, with these nuggets that you shared too, there's so much more there to be learned and to be had and to learn from you guys. So, Beth and Victoria, thank you so much for being on the
Thank
podcast.
you.
I love this. I feel like I could talk to you and learn from you for several hours more, but I know we have children and all the things to get back to. So, I just appreciate you being on here.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
We hope to
Super
hang
fun.
again.
Thanks for having
Thanks,
us.
Brooke.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
You too. Hey there! If this episode sparks something for you, I'd really love to know. Shoot me an email or leave me a comment on the episode. Those messages really do mean more to me than you realize. And if you're craving more clarity in your business or your career, you can explore ways to work together at www.scalewithclarity.com. You guys, thanks so much for taking the time to listen to the episode. I always love recording these and sharing them with you, and looking forward to seeing you on the next episode of Scale with Clarity.